Grace and peace. Grace and peace. Good evening. We are going to start here soon. Um, Looking at some Greek. Just going to cover the future tense. Very simple tense. Um, we're going to look at the future. And then probably, I think I'm going to do the to be verbs. I want us to focus on that because it'll be very helpful as we begin to start putting sentences together, and you'll be reading more. So we'll put that together. All right. Give people a few minutes to jump in here. Hey, grace and peace, most excellent. Grace and peace. Just hanging for a second, getting about to get started here. Going to get started here. Hopefully everyone's remembering that alphabet. Yes, Karis Kai A Rene. A Rene. Karis Kai A Rene. All right, so I'll just as people follow in, I'll start off with doing the alphabet. Let me share the board as well. That's very always important. Copy the link. So if people want to use the board, they can use the board. All right. So before we get to a me here, let's start off with the alphabet. Again, I'm going to try to write it as best I can with this little clicker I have here. So we know we got alpha. Let me make that a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, so we got alpha. Put those away. Alpha. Beta. Gamma. Delta. Epsilon. Zeta. Eta. Theta. Iota, however you want to pronounce it. Kappa. Lambda. Mu. Nu. Xi. Omicron, like omelet. Omicron. P, pi. Rho, sigma. Remember, sigma has the two forms. Final sigma at the end of a word. Tau, upsilon, phi, chi, chi, psi, omega. Omega. All right. So there is our alphabet. Again, if anyone wants to jump into the little whiteboard, the link is there to click on that. You're welcome to come on in. All right, so that is the alphabet. Trying to get ah. Okay, so with the ame, really quick, going to look at the ame verb for to be, present active, indicative. This is to be. This is kind of like our is verb in English. This is what's known as a copulative verb or an equative verb, which simply means think of it as an equal sign. An equal sign. It equals, it's a copulative verb. So it's going to link together subject, predicate. State, this is a stative verb, with a state of being, just like is. You know, I am hungry. I am in the state of hungriness. So stative. Remember, in your subject and predicate, subject is what it's about. Your predicate includes the verb and everything else after it. Now, with a me, these are also what we're going to see. We got plural to the right, singular is always to the left, first person, second person, third person, just like our other verbs that we've been learning, just like our other verbs. So, a me, Jesus says this a lot, ego, a me, ego, a me. So, a me, and this is very important. This is another one that you will want to memorize because you're going to see this pop up a lot in the Greek New Testament. It's going to pop up a lot. So, a me is I am. A, you are. Estin, he, she, or it is. So, a me is I am. A, you are. Estin, he, she, or it is. Is. Now, it's very important. This, the second person singular, looks very familiar to our verb endings. O, ace, a. How will we know the difference? Because it's one's going to be at the end. This is the ending is always attached to a verb. When you see it by itself, you'll know, and it'll have a, I can't really show, but it'll have a smooth breathing mark and a circumflex over it, over the iota. And I just magnified this so you can kind of see what it's going to look like. But when you see this with the circumflex over it, this lets you know this is a second person singular for to be. Esmen. And then also notice the men ending. Esmen. So when you see men, remember our verbs, O-H-A, men. Men is always we. So esmen, we are. Men is always going to be we. Always going to be we. Te, este, this tau epsilon ending. Amen. Ete, second person plural. Y'all are. Y'all are. And then asen. They are. They are. All right. So is there any questions so far? So once you memorize your endings, your verb endings, then this is usen. Usen. Man is always going to be we, no matter what the vowel is connecting here. The men ending is always we. Te, no matter what vowel is here, always going to be y'all. You plural. Y'all. Always going to be y'all. Now, let's practice something here. Let's look at this. Eston. All right. So in the chat, as you're watching this, translate that sentence. Translate that sentence. The only word you might have trouble with is phos. Phos. I'll give you a hint. Phos is like phosphorus, things like that. Phos, translate light. Phos is light. So with that, you should be able to translate the rest of this sentence. So just give me a rough translation of this sentence here. Ha, theas, phos, estin. Ha, theas, phos, estin. Okay. Let's see if anybody else. Give them a second here. Again, even if the answer is already put up in the chat, work it out yourself. It helps. There's nothing wrong with someone putting the answer, but you still do it as well. All right. So, most excellent put God is light. God is light. That is correct. God is light. But also, so let's look at this. This is actually 1 John 1:5. So this is 1 John 1:5. Now, we're going to learn this on a separate date as well. This is your article for the. Greek only has the. Greek does not have a or an. There's no separate thing. So an anotherous noun would be without an article. So this is the article. We're going to learn that your article is always going to tell you what it is attached to. It's going to tell you what it is. It's going to match it in case, which we'll look at when we get to nouns, case, and gender and number. Case, number, gender is always going to match. Case, number, and gender. Don't worry about this. We'll get to this when we get to it. But simply, case is how is it functioning in the sentence. Theos is a masculine nominative singular. So God here is the subject. And if you're ever in doubt, look to your article. Your article is always going to tell you what this is, case, number, gender. So God, singular, masculine, nominative. Nominative case, we'll learn this as we get to it. Nominative case is the subject of the sentence. It's the subject, it's the star of the show, all of that. It's the subject of the sentence. So, literal would be the God light is. The article, God light is. Smooth it out. God, you don't have to put you don't have to translate the article because we know God is, it's a proper noun type of thing. So God is your subject. Here's your verb, right? No, other way. Right here. God is light. Light. God is light. So a rough translation literally would be the God light he is. We would smooth it out because he, she, or it. Smooth it out. God is light. We can't switch this around because light is not in the nominative case. This is the nominative case. You can't say light is God. This is not in the nominative case. So God is light. That's how you would translate that out. Translate that out very smoothly. Okay. So as we look, that is your present active indicative of to be verb. Present active indicative or for to be. So present, this is your tense. Present tense, which means, so the present tense is, remember, ongoing action. Ongoing action. Ongoing action. It's active. Well, technically you won't do voice because it's because this expresses a state of being. You wouldn't say active voice. It doesn't have a voice. So we'll scratch that. Indicative, which is all we're studying right now. I'll let you know when we switch moods. Indicative is the mood. These are only for verbs. Mood lets you know this is how it relates to reality. So this is the indicative mood is truth. It's real. It's reality. It's reality. So let me scoot up a little bit. So this a me, a Eston, Esmen, Este, Asen. I am, you are, he is, we are, y'all are, they are. This is a very important verb. You want to memorize this. Memorize this chart. I'll just put memory. Memorize this chart. These will never be added to a word. You will never see these added to a word except this, but that's it won't have this over. It's a separate word. These will always be next to words. Next to words. Hey, grace and peace. So does that make sense? If what we covered so far makes sense, type of 1. If not, let me know what I need to go over. I don't mind slowing down at all. I'll give you a say. I know you guys are behind. I wish there was a way I can get better verbs. Better chalkboard. Whiteboard here. Okay. I'm going to scoot over just a little bit. Go here. Let me do one more for us. Give me a second here. All right. Let's try this. All right. Whoops, sorry. It's too far. All right. All right. So let's translate. Let's translate this. I'll help us. We'll go through. So this is humace. We'll translate this again. Humace. Este. Ta. Phos. Tu. Cosmu. So I'll translate a little bit here. If you want, give me a translation of this. Cosmu is the genitive of cosmos. So this may help you. Cosmos. Genitive. Genitive is the case of possession. So we'll cover this, so don't worry about it right now. You will put of in your translation for the genitive. Usually, genitives end in o or own. These are your genitive cases for nouns. These are your articles, so they just simply translate into the. Articles just simply translate into the. Let's see if you can get that from there. All right, so again, just type it in the chat. Don't worry if someone puts something before you. I'll give us a few more minutes, and then I will give the answer. So, and who mace? Notice here's a rough breathing. Rough breathing, you give it a H sound. Remember, rough breathing is an H sound if we're reading it. So, who mace? Uh, who mace is just a pronoun for you. You plural. You plural. And remember, este, we translated it over here. So we got a me, a, esten, es men, este, asen. I, you singular, he, she, it, we, second person plural, y'all, they. And remember, these are to be verbs. So to be verbs. So you would either use like is or are. So hopefully that helps help you guys translate as well. So we'll translate. This is actually from Matthew chapter 5, verse 16, verse 14. You, so y'all are the phos, the light of the world, cosmos's world. So here is esti, second person singular, y'all. So y'all are plural. So notice, this is not just one disciple or one person. This is plural. Y'all are the phos to cosmu, the light of, so you put of here, the world. Y'all are the light of the world. Notice, this is a present tense verb. Y'all are continually the light of the world. As believers, we're not just light once in a while. We are to be continual lights of the world. I hope that makes sense. Making sure there's no questions. Okay, I don't see anything popping up. Okay. So that is present tense active indicative verb to be. So now I want to move that over. Now I want to focus on what we're doing tonight. Tonight we are looking at the future tense. The future tense verb. We're going to look pretty quick at it. Future tense. So let's go over our verb and let me give you our verb endings. These are for future and present tense. Future and present tense. O, ace, a, amen, ete, usen. Remember, you will see these. These are active endings. You're only going to see these in present or future active indicative verbs. So let me put present and future. Now, with future tense, so we're focusing on the future. So let me do this real quick. Present tense, we'll do luo. Very simple Greek word. Luo. I loose. I loose. Luo. So let me break this down for us. Lu, this is your stem. This is the stem. Anything over here, these are called your suffixes. They come at the end of the stem. You just plug it right onto the stem. Boom, boom, boom. This is a person number ending. It tells you first person singular is doing this. So I, you, he, she, it. We, y'all, they. So the present tense is just your stem plus your ending. Stem plus your ending. Simple present tense. Present tense is continual action, ongoing action, habitual action. So I loose or I am, and then ing, whatever your verb is. I am looking, I am eating. So that's present. Present tense is just simple stem plus ending. Like if you're good at, like if in math, if you guys think like that, it's just a simple formula. Stem plus ending. Stem plus your ending is present tense. This is present tense. Present tense. Okay. Now I want to show us future. The future is simple. Let me do blue. A little bit more. So future trying to get there. Okay. Doesn't want to write as big as I thought. So future. The future is going to show it's very predictive. It's something is going to happen. in the future tense. It's going to happen. The future is a very it's what we call it can kind of give you an aoristic perspective. What we mean by aoristic perspective is it's uh, it tells you that something is going to happen, but it just gives you it's a summary tense, pretty much. So it's not going to tell you how the action is done. It's just going to say the action will be done. So future, I will eat. I will eat in the future tense is not telling me how you're going to eat. It's just telling me that you are going to eat. I am going to eat. So the future. Now, the future has a clue. It has a clue that is what we're going to call a future time morpheme, which is simply this. So hold on. Let me erase some of this really quick. Future time morpheme. What do we mean by future time morpheme? Here. So the future, or a clue, this is basically you're going to be your clue. Future time morpheme or clue is simply what you're simply doing. You're adding a sigma. You're adding a sigma to the base or to the stem, and then your endings are going to go plug in here. Very simple. So the future, you're going to have your stem. So present tense. We'll look at present tense again. Lu, o. Notice there's nothing here. So here's your stem. There's nothing. So this is present tense. Future tense. Erase this. All right. Future tense is lu, so. Lu, so. All I did was add a sigma, a future time morpheme, added it to the stem. That's all you do for future active indicative. So all you do is you're going to have the formula is simple. Your stem plus your future time morpheme, which is a sigma, plus your endings. Stem plus a sigma plus an ending. That's future tense. So let's do, and you translate it, will. So let's do this. Lu, say. Lu, say. Let me see if I can get. So notice, here is your sigma, your future time clue. This lets you know this is a clue. This is a future time morpheme. So here's my stem, sigma, ending. Third person, singular. He, she, or it will loose. So he will. And this lets you know it's future. He will loose. He will loose. Oftentimes, uh, they'll teach you the future and the present together in Greek because all you're doing is adding an S or a sigma to it. You're just simply adding a sigma to your stem before you add your ending to it. Okay? So let me let you guys try this one on your own. Let's try this on your own. Let's do. Okay, here's one. Let's translate akusete. Akusete. Let's translate that in the chat. And remember, aku. Remember, is from the root word akuo. Think of acoustics. So akuo, I'll give you the definition as we learn it, means to hear. Akuo means to hear. So remember your endings. So notice akuo is in the present tense. This is how you're going to find it in the dictionary. So we're going to look. Let's as I walk us through this. Here is our stem. Ete. Oh, I know that. That's my ending. There's something here. When something is added to your stem, it shifts from the present and goes to the future. So this is blank will blank. So remember, your sigma is your future time clue. Your future time clue. How can you find the stem? How do you know if something's been added? You check to your stem or your root. This is how you're going to find it in the dictionary. So you look at this, you look here, oh, there's something added, so I know it's no longer present. This is going to be a future tense. The ending's still the same. So I'll give you the endings again. O, ace, a, amen. Remember, amen is always we. Ete, usin. Usin. So remember, this is always we. Ete is always y'all, plural, and then they. So how will we translate this? So we know it's to hear. Third part, so the ending tells me how many people are doing it. Plural, y'all. So it goes plural, y'all. So you would translate this you, and then you can kind of put plural in your translation, or y'all. Y'all will hear. When you translate that, you make sure you put the will in there. That helps you smooth it out. So akusete, y'all will akuo. You will hear. You will hear. So whenever you see, you got your stem plus, whenever there's a sigma, and then you got your endings, person number endings here, endings. Whenever you see a sigma next to your stem, bells should go off and say, oh, that is a future tense verb. Y'all will hear. That's right. So whenever you see a sigma, and once you learn your vocabulary, you're going to know you will never find, and here, this may help you as well. You will never find akusete in the dictionary. You will only find future tense in the dictionary. So once you memorize your dictionary, your vocabulary words, especially with verbs, these are all verbs we're dealing with. Verbs always are first person, active, indicative. They're going to have an omega on the end. So you will never find akusete in the dictionary. You're always going to find akuo. And so once you know this is your stem, you know aku is my stem. This is just my ending. If there's anything in between this, you know, boom, it's future tense. So let's do let's do this one. So if we did Lu, remember Lu is our stem. Let's do Lu summon. I can't really see that good. Sorry. So Lu summon. Lu summon. Lu summon. So we know, boom, sigma. I know this is going to be future. So I'm going to add will into this. I know this is my stem. This means to loose. Boom. Here's my ending. Men, Rep C always said men means we. So loose salmon. How would you translate loose salmon? If you know luo means to loose, sigma is a future tense, so you're going to have a helping verb in there. And men is we. So how would you translate lu sa men? I'll give you a second. We will loose. There you go. We will loose. We will lose. Now, all of that, I'm trying to get, let me get my board right here, guys. Loose salmon. Loose salmon. So the men tells us how many. So there's the we part. This tells you it's future, so it's will. This is your meaning or your stem, loose. We will loose. You actually kind of work backwards. We will loose. We will lose. Very, very good. Very, very good. Let's try one more. This one should be easy here. Let's do baptizo. 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 How would you translate baptizo? Baptizo. Baptizo. Okay, I see an answer in the chat. So let's go over this. Here is our stem, technically. So we know that this means to baptize. First person ending I. There's your sigma future tense clue. Let you know this is will. I will baptize. Now, how you would find this in the dictionary, baptizo. It's like, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Rep C. Something happened here. Something happened. So, baptizo. I will baptize. Now, so something happened. Let me get back to the other board here. There's something. Oops. Okay. I'm going to give you something called the square of stops. The square of stops. The square of stops. Okay. Now, this is going to help you because what we're going to see is a lot of times when your stem ends in a consonant, when the stem ends in a consonant, like an S or a tau or a K or a P or a pi, whenever your stem ends in this, Greek for some reason does not like it when a sigma bumps into that. So let's take, for example, ago. Ago. Ago means I lead. I lead. The stem, if we take off the omega, the stem is actually og. That's the stem. Gamma is a consonant. So whenever your stem ends in a consonant, remember a consonant is something that's not a vowel, basically. So this is your stem. you're adding a sigma next to it, and then you're ending. You can't say I'm Greek. The Greek language, they did not like to have to work hard to pronounce things. It's basically what it comes down to. This is a phonological change a lot of times. And so when you're add a sigma to a gamma, Greek doesn't like that. And so what happens is this is called amalgamation. These are combining letters. And so usually it's when a sigma bumps into one of these and they don't like each other. And so what's going to happen is, so if you want to say I will lead, what happens is the sigma and the gamma bump into each other. And what happens is you get the x sound. So I will lead from the key there. So let me show you. This is another way. So if P, beta, or phi, if your stem ends in a P or pi, beta, or a phi, my eraser. This is going to show you. So if your word ends, your stem ends in a P, beta, or phi, and you add a sigma to it. If you add a sigma, your new letter is going to come C. And so what happens is if you see this at your end of your stem, it lets you know that there's a letter hidden basically, but also that a sigma was added and it's the future tense or something happened here. Technically this is what you call a labial because it's made with your lips. Your lips touch. So these are labials. The next, what you have are called velars. Velars. So if your stem ends in a kappa, gamma, or a key, plus you're adding a sigma to it for future tense, it's going to come into, whoops, that was ugly. It's going to change into kasi. These are called velars, and then you have the dentals because it's made with your tongue and your teeth touched together. And you can look this up, online and stuff. It's basically phonological, how you pronounce them, basically. So, and you're going to add, if you add a sigma to it, it's going to become just a sigma. It becomes a sigma. Basically, these drop out and then the sigma remains. So, like for this one, if you were to do the word for I trust, patho. So, patho is I trust. Patho, I trust. If you want to say I will trust, notice the theta plus sigma. The sigma is going to win. This just drops out. So your future tense of patho becomes pay. So I will trust. So the endings are the same. It's just for if you're, and this is the stem. The stem is actually here. And again, if your stem ends in a consonant, which it does, a theta, which is right here, your dental, that these drop out. So the T, the D, the theta, those will drop out and you'll just have a sigma there. I know that's kind of a lot, but it's only for future tense right now. So you just kind of want to get that in your head. And a lot of it is morphological. It changes a lot, like morphological changes over time. But Greeks did not like to pronounce words weirdly like that. So this is called the square stops. So if you're trying to find some good. So if your stem ends in any of these and you add a sigma to it, you're going to get combined letters. Combined letters. So like if you were to see, let's do, okay, here's one. Let's do pimpo. Pimpo Pimpo means to send. Pimpo means to send. I send. I send. So pimpo, I hate that it's not writing as much as I want it to. So pimpo is I send. This is a present tense. So there's nothing but the ending. If I wanted to make this I will send, you're going to have to add a sigma, right? So notice what happens. Your stem is pimp. P. P. There's your labial. So it ends in a consonant. You're adding a sigma to it. So sigma plus pi or p becomes what? A c or psi. Becomes a psi. So your future tense is actually pim. So this becomes I will send. So the sigma bumps into the p of the pi here at the end of the stem. Greek doesn't like those two sounds together for some reason. So the P and the sigma become a psi. If you see that, that should let you know, oh, there's an S here. A sigma's hiding here. And I know a sigma lets me know that this is a future tense. So that's basic kind of what it's doing. It's kind of like the letters are playing hide and seek. And so if you see a strange letter, that lets you know, oh, a sigma's been added. That's future tense. Pimp so. Yep, there you go. Pimp so. So And then you'll start to learn that, oh, this doesn't sound like a normal Greek verb. And you look at the stem and you can see, oh, a sigma's been added. Whenever a sigma's been added to my stem, I know it's future tense. I know it's future tense. Okay, let me see. There's something else I want to show us really quick. Okay. All right, so I want to show us this really quick. Let's get into an actual Greek passage. Let's get into an actual Greek passage and see what we can discover here. Let's go to John 16:13. We've kind of used this before. We've used this before when we dealt with the Holy Spirit and his deity. So let's look at this together, and we're going to focus on some stuff. All right. So here we go. Hatan de elethe ekenas ta numa tes alethes. Notice rough breathing. Hode gese. Hode gese Hamas. That's all I want to focus on is this portion here. So when that spirit comes, he udegese, he will lead you into all the truth, right? So notice, here's our verb. Hodegese is our verb. What do we notice? There is, it won't let me pull up a pointer. So we're focusing on Hodegese here in the blue, if you can see that in the blue. Notice there is a sigma here, future tense. This is a future tense Greek verb. He will lead you. He will guide you. And notice, it doesn't tell us what he's going to do to guide you. It just tells us a summation, a summary of the action. One that's going to happen in future time. He is going to guide you. It's not emphasizing the process. It's not telling you how long he's going to lead you or guide you. The Greek future tense basically is a zoomed out picture. It's zooming out and it's taking into consideration everything that the Holy Spirit does in his leading. So it's zooming out and it's showing you he will lead you, he will guide you. Humas, you plural. He will guide you. And so notice the A ending, third person, singular, he, she, or it. So the Spirit of truth, he will guide you. He will guide you. Accusative. So as we see here, here's Hodegese. Sigma's added, so we know it's future tense. It keeps the same active endings, third person singular. He, she, or it will lead, will guide. He, she, or it will lead, or they will guide. I wonder if I can do a interlinear. Boom. Okay, perfect. That's even better. Okay, so let's focus down here. Look at this. This is what's called an interlinear text. I want you to see this a little bit better. I want you to see this a little bit better. So, if we look, it tells us here's our verb. It's a verb. Here is the root. The root is hodegeo. And so we see that this that's the verb. It's adding a sigma. And then the two epsilons bump together. They become eta. Eta. So it's adding the future tense is adding to that. Let me see. Also, there's another future tense down here. Oh, let me close that. So we see he will lead you, he will guide you into all the truth. Ugar, for he will not speak of himself. Here's a sigma. Here's the sigma, future tense. He will not speak of himself, but whatever akuse. Notice from akuo, there's the sigma. He will whatever he hears or he will hear, he will speak it to you. So akuse, he hears, whatever he will hear, he is going to speak it. Future tense. All right. I think that's all I wanted to show tonight on the future tense. So again, the future tense is very simple, just adding a sigma to the stem. Adding a sigma to the stem. All right, let me show you one more cool thing in the Greek text, and then we'll call it a night here. Let's look at how the present tense is used in a narrative, in narration, how it can make the text come alive. Make the text come alive. All right, so we're going to look at Matthew 8:25. Matthew 8:25. Well, actually, if you start up at verse 24, it's very descriptive. These present tense verbs, very powerful when you read it in the Greek and see the picture that it's portraying. So, verse 24, and behold, a seismos megas, a great storm, which seismology is shaking. A violent storm came up on the sea, in te thalasses, the sea. A violent storm came into being or developed on the sea. Hoste, so that the boat that they were in, Kai Lu Kai Lu Pe Te Sathai, Hupo Tone Kumaton. The waves are covering. They're swamping the boat. It's a present passive, and so it's a habitual. It's not just one wave. It's continual waves are splashing onto the boat. It's filling up the boat. It's filling up the boat. But then it says, but he, Jesus, autos, Jesus, what was Jesus doing? Jesus himself was asleep. He was asleep. Verse 25. Kai pros elthantes. So they were coming to him. They're running to him. Jesus is asleep. The waves are crashing, filling the boat. They come to him and they raised him up. They woke him up. Agere, from agero, which we know to raise. They're waking him up. They're waking him up, shaking him, and they're saying unto him, legantes. Again, another present participle. So they're not just saying this one. They're not saying, "Hey Jesus, we drowning. The boat's filling up." They're screaming. "Hey Jesus, wake up! Wake up! Jesus, wake up! Wake up! Wake up! Water's coming in the boat. Water's coming in the boat." That's the picture that the present tense is painting here. They're like, "Jesus, wake up! Hey Jesus, wake up! Kyrie, Lord, wake up! Lord, wake up!" But then they say, Kyrie sozon. We'll learn this. This is actually an imperative. So they're saying, Lord, save us now. There's urgency here. Sozon, Lord, save us. Save us now. There's urgency here. Why? Why save us, Jesus? Apo lelumetha, passive. Help us, save us. Why? We are drowning. Passive, but it's present. So it's an ongoing thing. Lord, we are drowning right now. Help us. We talking, water splashing on our face, splashing on us. We're drowning. Help us. Help us right now. So this just goes to show you how in this narrative here that the Greek, the author is using certain tenses to paint a picture. It's water is everywhere. They're drowning. Actually, they're in the process of drowning right now, is what the tense of the verb implies. Lord, as we're speaking, we're drowning right now. And then I love Jesus' response. Jesus gets up and lege, he says, autois, to them, te. Why? Why? That's his first thing. He says, why? Why are you, este, we just saw the helping verb, why are you, deloi? Why are you so fearful? Notice this is not phobos, fear. This is not a phobos, fear. So they are not afraid of water like a phobia of water because they're fishermen. This is something different. Their faith is being tested. They actually think they are dying right now. They think they are dying. This word delios, it's from delia. It means, why are you being a coward? Why are you timid right now? This is the same Greek word where it says he has not given us a spirit of fear, delioi. Delia. He has not given us a spirit of cowardice or timidness, and to be afraid and timid, cowardly. So Jesus says to them, why? Why are you cowards? And then he says, you of oligo pistoi. Why do you have such little faith? Why do you have such a short burst of faith? And so it's not that they were afraid of the water, it's their faith is not working properly. Basically what Jesus is saying. So that's just a little something to show, when Jesus is on your boat, there's nothing to be afraid. Yes, the storms are going to come in life. Yes, sometimes it seems like you're going under for the last time, but he is on your boat. He got up, he rebuked the winds and the sea, it became perfectly calm. And the men were amazed at him, and they say, "What kind of man is this?" In verse 27. What potepos? Where did this man come from? What place is he from? That even the winds and the sea, hupa akusin, that the seas and the waves are listening to him, which akuo means can mean to listen and to obey. What kind of man is this that the winds and the sea listen and obeys him? So I think that is a powerful text that the Greek language shows you. Some translations will bring out the present tense, some won't, but it's just the author's use of it, which is amazing. That's a great lesson. I will listen for more. The man, that's just Jesus is on your boat. He's on your boat. So that's just a little Greek future tense. Greek future tense, which I think is very, very useful tense. You'll see this in a very famous verse, Matthew 1:21. She will give birth to a son, talking to Mary, and you will name him Jesus. And he will he will save his people from his sins. So you have three future tense verbs there. She will give birth, you will name him Jesus, and he will save his people from their sins. And a lot of times the future tense, for some reason, it's used in the imperative force. So it's not like they had an option. You're going to name him Jesus and nothing else. Or when it says, you love your God. What is the greatest commandment in Matthew 22? When you look at that, when it says love your God, it's actually the Greek future tense. You will love him, in the sense of this is there's an imperatival force to it. You will love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind. This is the great and foremost commandment. The second is like it. You will love your neighbor, kathos, just as to the same degree, the same manner as yourself. All right. So that's all for tonight. The Greek future tense. Remember, the Greek future tense, you just add a sigma to the stem and then plug on those endings. And we'll review that again the next time we do the Greek lesson. But I hope it's been a blessing to you guys. Hope it's been a blessing, and we will check you guys out on the next video. God bless.